go. Connect screen. Okay, getting on Instagram. All right, guys. Hello, hello, and welcome to Brush Hour, your weekly virtual art hang. I am Francesca, and I'm a portrait artist, I'm an instructor, and I'm a lover of the arts in general. Each week during Brush Hour, we explore art, ideas, and process, and we do it all together. So big hello to everyone popping on live or anyone that's joining after Brush Hour. Comment and say hello or drop a question if you have one. So tonight we're starting off with a step into the art world. Master artists everywhere have been seen rolling in their graves as their work continues to reach staggering prices long after their lifetimes. And it is part of the ongoing conversation of how much is art really worth? We are seeing record-breaking numbers at auctions, reaching levels once unimaginable. It's pretty unbelievable. Recently, a portrait that Gustav Klimt painted, portrait of Elizabeth, which I'll show you a few of them after. It sold for $236 million at Sotheby's in New York. And it isn't just historical works. Warhol, Marilyn sold for $195 million, which is one of the highest prices for the 20th century. And then we arrived somewhere a little bit unexpected, a stainless steel rabbit. So it's a modern take on a sculpture that feels a bit too simple, but it might have been the point. But also it was Jeff Koons, so it sold for over $90 million. So in other news surrounding Jeff Koons, his name recently appeared in Epstein-related documents, along with many other public figures. But Koons has stated that he did not have a relationship with Epstein, but noted that he attended a single dinner at Epstein's home in 2013. There were also reports of many possible studio visits that may have been planned, although it's unclear whether those ever took place. And while it has raised a few eyebrows, there's no evidence of an ongoing relationship, any confirmed business dealings, or allegations involving Koons. So important to, of course, state that. So in as much as the art world can be a bit complicated, what we're really here for is the work. So let's dive into some paintings to spark some inspiration if you're an artist, and also just some art candy for any art lovers. So yeah, hope everyone has had a lovely week, and yeah, it's been a good week for me. Since the last brush hour, I painted at Scottsdale Artist School last Friday for their open studio. That was lots of fun. You can check out on my Instagram. I posted some of the final paintings on there. And yeah, it's always such a treat to be able to paint from life, especially at Scottsdale Artist School. They always have a really nice setup. So yeah, that was lots of fun. I finished my painting that I've been doing on Brush Hour of my brother. So that was pretty cool too. I have them right here. They do need to be varnished a bit, so it kind of like loses its real darkness, but that's just kind of keeping that. So this one was nice. This was the second one actually I did. The first one was of this, and so every time that I've been there, I've always kind of been like, oh, I wish I had, I wish I did another one instead of working on one for the whole entire time. So yeah, this time I did one study of her, and then I did this one afterwards. So yeah, lots of fun. Always good to study, stay sharp. And yeah, painting from life is always such a treat. I think that a lot of people always think it's a bit intimidating. Like, they think it's better to maybe use a photo reference, which there's pros and cons to both, of course. I like using photos because they're right there. They don't need breaks. They're not going to move at all. So that's obviously a pro. But our eyes can see far more than what the camera will show us. So, the camera is fairly limited compared to what our eyes can see. And the camera kind of takes its own art. I'm sure if you ever have taken a photo of, a landscape or a sunset, anything like that, it's never really does it justice. So that's why, it compresses and gives its own information. So it kind of creates its own artwork, which is okay to be able to use. But again, painting from life is always super fun. I do have some of that coming up. So April 19th at Four Peaks, I'll have a painting from life workshop where we'll have a live model. They're going to be dressed up with a cool costume, and I'm going to have a fun backdrop as well. So it'll be a guided workshop, and it's good for anyone if you are refining skills or if you're new and kind of want to just dip your toes. Um, that's totally welcome as well. I will have like basic drawing supplies. So if you are new and trying to like learn, you can come, and I'll have that. Also, some people come and they just like to observe and watch the process. So that is totally fine too. Yeah, and then I can't remember if I showed this. This is the one of my brother Charles that I finished, and I'm really happy with it. It was lots of fun. Um, yeah, so these brush hours have been, I started it to make sure that I had, a designated time during the week to be getting studying done aside from like any commissions or prepping for classes and such. And it really has just been like the best. Pre-baby life, I was able to kind of paint, create, do something whenever. And as nice as that is, I feel like when there's only a certain amount of time to work on something, we tend to really know, okay, I have this allotment of time. I need to get X, Y, and Z done. And so for me, I find that I don't goof off as much. I'm not like, prone to letting a distraction take away from my time. So yeah, I have, painting, drawing, creating a part of my schedule. That way I know that I can get that done. So yeah, I hope that you guys are too. And that's another thing with Brush Hour, that we can all have this designated time together. So yes, let's go ahead, and I'm going to show you guys actually the pictures that were sold that we were talking about in the beginning of the art briefing. Let's see if people on Instagram saying hi. Got a lot of friends on. Hello. Callie searching. Painting from life is addicting. We do it every week and I love it. That's so good. Um, Joe, Levi, and I will be at that one. Yay, it'll be so nice to see you again. Hope you and your son had fun on your trip to New York. Looked like you saw a bunch of fun art as well, which is great. Yeah, super cool. Yeah, so you guys can go to the link in my bio and you can go ahead and check that out. Oh yeah, and then yesterday I had a paint and sip at the Cellar, which is on Warner and the 10 and Chandler, or excuse me, Phoenix. And yeah, it was Warner and the 10. And yeah, it's a super fun place. It's really beautiful and, locally owned by a wonderful woman, Shannon. And, it's a great vibe, great staff. And what's cool about it too is it's its own like museum or gallery, because she has all these awesome paintings there, things that she's collected over the years. Someone that works there, his work is in there, and other pieces or things that she's collected like all over, including this one door that's in there that's awesome too. And but yeah, it's always great vibes. The people there are always awesome. So yeah, we did a fun class for roses. But yeah, so, and then on Saturday, I'm teaching at Mesa Art Center. I think there might be one more spot left. Otherwise, I have a few more that are coming up. And yeah, excited about that. Some live ones as well. So let's go ahead and see these pieces and let you can kind of determine or think if you think that these are worth the, like this is the Klimt that sold for 230 million. And yeah, just it's really beautiful and amazing. That it's not within my budget for art. But yeah, and I think this one as well was like either lost and found or in someone's private collection. But yeah, so this is the Warhol that sold for from Warhol, which is really cool. But and I heard once that, and I should fact check it, but that he painted that the Campbell soup and all of that just to be able to prove that people, as like a social experiment, just to prove that people would love it and enjoy it no matter what. And that really stands the testament of time. So, okay, and then so here is the sculpture this from Koons. That was the 90 million. Pretty wild. But yeah, and there's a really good documentary. I think it's on Prime, and it's called The Price of Everything. And it follows this giant art collector that started in like the plastics business, and he's no longer he's passed since, but he had this huge collection of art. He treated it like stocks, like he only would have a certain amount of works and then would trade them out when he wanted to get something else. And so I mean, the guy was a, I don't know if he was a billionaire or not, but up there for sure. And then they have all of these other artists that are one is like literally living in a forest, and so there's just this variety of like art dealers, artists and such. So that's a really good one that I recommend that you check out. I've watched it a few times. It's been a few years, but it's good to kind of like refresh it and just get a good perspective on that, of just how wacky and all over the place the art world is. So yeah, also I want to talk about a couple paintings that I am love and am inspired by. This one is a self-portrait by Richard Schmid. I feel like he is like the godfather of painting, and I'm sure so many others would agree. He has a great book, Alla Prima, and then Alla Prima 2. That is, I mean, worth the reading from front to back. It's like the Bible of painting. It's incredible. And this, I have a couple of these that I wanted to share of by Olga Boznansky. She's Polish, and I've come across some of her pieces, and it's just so beautiful. I love this one so much. We have a lot of like leading lines, and just it helps. Your eye kind of really bounces around, and even that like red is a really tricky color to use in work, and so just so beautifully done. This one as well is so amazing. And then even better are the hands in it. Like, oh my gosh, look at that. Um, it's just so like simple, but, and when I say simple, I just mean not like a ton of detail, but really just gives this beautiful impression of hands clasped, like holding these flowers. And then same artist. This one is so beautiful. I feel like it's, there's not a lot of detail in it, which I think is a good thing to think about when we're working, because we don't always have to have a ton of detail to have like something that's really compelling. And yeah, so I think that this is, yeah, so good. And also I love how the temperature in chroma is kind of like helping people bounce around a bit. Um, and oh, and, Matt just said, I've seen Olga's work in person. Oh, wow, that's amazing. In Krakow and Warsaw. I'm probably saying that wrong. Sorry. That is amazing. Yeah, she is. I'd love to see her work. Was it super chunky work and pasto work? Matt on YouTube is asking, or said that, and I'm asking him that. So yeah, super, and also just like the eyes closed, it really kind of gives this feel, right? And but yeah, so the saturation really is focused on like her face and the hands, and then this giant shape of the body and her arm, and it really just helps the eye kind of move around. It's just very beautiful. And a couple others that I wanted to do that I'm actually going to be kind of working as my inspiration on my painting that I'm going to start tonight, and then I'll keep working on it throughout the next week or so, like on the next Fresh Hour too, as well. Um, yeah, so this is Antonio Mancini. I can't figure out if this is a cropped one. I've had this saved for so long, and I look at it all the time. And yeah, if anyone knows, I'd love to find out. I've tried figuring out. I can't. But it's so beautiful, and especially like the eyes, it's just not, again, there's not a lot of detail. There are anchoring shapes, but it's not filled with just over detailed, and the eyes just look incredible without a bunch of detail. It is kind of like this one. It's not the same one though. It's definitely the same model that he used. And then yeah, here's another one too. We've talked about Mancini before, so I might have added a couple of these before, but I think there's so much to learn from him, and I just also love that he has this way of having beautiful realism in important features like the face and the hands, and then but his everything else is like very abstract, so it really helps us kind of like focus on what's real, the starring actors of the or actresses of the show, and then yeah, we have the abstract background and other elements that help support the stars of the painting. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is get some painting going. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and yeah, so today I'm using, actually what's so funny is I came across this painting, and I wish I remembered where, I can't find it now, but this painting looked like Data from Star Trek. And I grew up on Star Trek. My dad is a super uber fan. And yeah, so I haven't watched it in forever, but also I'm like, you know what? This is like literally nostalgia for me. And when I saw that painting, I'm like, that would be a good one to do. And also what made me think about that is the photos that I was looking up for it. Not great quality because it's from like the 80s and 90s, maybe the 70s. When is, um, hmm, if anyone wants to chime in and let me know, I cannot remember, but obviously very old. So very limited on any promotional, photos and everything. But that's not always a bad thing. So, I feel like it's, it feels important to have something that's a really great reference photo, but sometimes something that's poor quality can actually work in our favor because we're not chasing after the realism. We're not chasing after unnecessary things. So it kind of helps you do that. And there's ways in Photoshop and other programs that you can edit your photos that way. But so got my paint over here. And then I have this for my inspiration, or just something to be kind of like looking at and helping guide me. Okay. Let me just get this out. There we go. So this is I love how another thing that I was interested in painting this is that the color temperature. So he's super warm, or excuse me, has super cool temperature because he's like from another time and place, and so they have a bunch of makeup on him for his costume. And what it does is it actually brings out a lot of the saturation like in his eyes. And that's a good example that like everything is actually relative to what it's around. So all of these pinks and such are there and on everyone else, but all the other warmth in the face kind of counteracts with it, and so it's not as like noticeable. But whenever we add anything super cool, and a lot of times we want to gray things down a little bit more, that kind of helps it. So yeah, I'm excited to kind of play with that and keep it really just desaturated on the face, except for pockets of the eyes and such. Hello to every people that are on. Okay, so let's do this. I don't know how much I'll be able to get done with it because I talked a bunch, but that's okay. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is gonna sketch them out. Some of these are so hard to open after you've opened them before. I always forget. Okay, so I'm using a Gamblin 3-in-1 for my medium. It's been really kind of nice to use because I feel like it gives a lot of even application and layers. Look at all the things that are sunken in. So yeah, okay, let's do this. And I do want to keep like my background pretty dark. Okay. And I'm not gonna have, I'm trying to lighten up using actually, this is my palette that I'm using to show you. Flipping down. So yeah, I'm using actually black on this one, which I don't usually use black, but I think this calls for it for sure. But then I have some Van Dyke Brown. I have some olive green. And then some reds, alizarin and Cad Red Deep. And so I'm kind of just walking them in very imperfect. I don't want to like worry about perfect application. I just want to kind of get my like a feel for things. And I'm squinting. That way I can really kind of see my shapes better. And even though his hair is kind of dark in here, actually, I mean, it is dark, I do want to have some separation from the background. So at least for now, I don't want to go too dark. And so by squinting, I'm able to get a good idea of my shapes, because that's what I'm kind of aiming for right now. Squinting, squinting. I feel like if no one knew that I was painting, a lot of times I'm just like constantly squinting in videos and different stuff, so it looks like I just can't see anything, but yeah, I'm gonna keep a little bit, actually let's get a little bit looking up, because it's so easy to try to align people a little bit like what we would think is more perfect. So we want to avoid people looking like a mugshot like this because it just doesn't look natural. Everyone has a bit of a gait to them. And so that's also a really easy, quick way to get a good likeness of your subject. You know, like what is unique about how they're leaning, because everyone has their own. Just kind of measuring too. Matt says, I always visit the national museums and try to sketch my favorite paintings. Yes, that is such a good thing for artists to do. I'd love to get back to some painting or drawing at the museum. Just want to be careful I don't get too tilted. So I'll kind of address that now. And I'm just kind of carving out his face now. Hope everyone enjoyed the beginning of my segment with some fun, like art news. Let me know what you think, and if you missed it, you can always watch it after. They're on my YouTube channel. And so if you're not subscribed there, make sure you do. We'll be adding more painting videos on there and such. And just like with Brush Hour, kind of, it's like the update for the week, all of that. Like with my upcoming workshop at Four Peaks, it's the start of my Sunday Sketch Club. And so this Sunday Sketch Club, which I've talked about, I think on here a week or two ago, but will be basically, it's just a way to keep us sketching, and whether that be painting or drawing. Again, just like another way to like really hold ourselves accountable to our process, and also just a way to like stay inspired. So once a month there will be a live model workshop event, and then the other weeks I'll have a new art tutorial that will drop. So it won't be live, but it'll be a recorded version, so you'll be able to have that. And then yeah, I'll have different, every Sunday there will be something new. So yeah, the idea is really to, you know, build community and create together, because like I've talked about it before, but I feel like our you know, being an artist can be, you know, is for the most part something that we're doing by ourselves. And so it's nice to be able to do it together and yeah, keep the momentum going too, I think is the important part, because that's how we get better. I don't really feel like there's, just like if we work out, it's never a wasted, you know, workout no matter what. It's always good for us. But when we, the more that we're doing it and staying on a roll, the better we get. It's just compounding that way. But if we're just, you know, doing it here and there, then, you know, it's harder to get back in that rhythm. So yeah, I'm finding fun ways to hold myself accountable, and so with you guys. Okay, so this is definitely, let's fix his right here. A little off. And anytime I notice something that's off, I try to just address it right away. Because when we don't, we start to make decisions based off of bad information that we're putting down. And speaking of Richard Schmid, I was talking about, one big thing that I learn and think about all the time that was in his Alla Prima 2 book was that, you know, we want to make the foundation and all of our beginning decisions, you know, proper and correct. And, you know, if we find an error, we need to fix it, because it's just like painting is just like bricklaying, you know. So if we have a row, especially in the bottom, that's all wacky, then the rest is going to be wacky, right? They'll never have anything that's like just this, you know, level line. And so the same thing can work with painting. And so if you find something like, okay, this is not right, you know, listen to your eyes and yeah, fix it right then. And I think that there's so much to be said about that because it's just like life, you know, if we procrastinate fixing an error on our painting, it's just going to hurt us later. And so it's the same thing with literally anything. So just your life lessons through painting. So yeah, so I'm just really getting this skull in. And I have this golden acrylic primer underneath it that I have primed. So it's nice to be able to pick out the, what's it called? All of the areas that I want. It'll go more to the canvas. Let's get some stuff in the background. And I actually would like to use the color I need to grab. I feel like it needs some ultramarine blue because I'm going to have some of the greens and such, but get a little bit more depth. My black is kind of like a blue because black is a cool and it kind of works like a blue, like in the Zorn palette. But yeah, I feel like it can use some warmth back there. Now that I have something darker too, I can like rely on my values a little bit better. Especially like the here. I can still tell that it is kind of a little bit crooked, so I do want to continue to just kind of scraping too, as you'll probably hear and see, but this kind of helps carve out too. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna really get these eyes kind of in place. Okay. Mouth, I definitely want to keep red too. But also when I look at, if we look at both of these, you can see that like what I love about this is the mouth, how, subtle it is. It's not outlined. Nothing's really outlined in this. But yeah, so it's just a really good example, especially of the mouth. Now, what I'm going to do is plop in some cool colors, or not cool necessarily, but the base of him. Just a pretty muted green. If I want to pick up a lot of paint, I like to use more of a bristle brush. Actually, speaking of fix something when you see it, I can see that this needs to be adjusted. I'm not like perfectly happy with my drawing quite yet, but that's okay. Okay. Let's go. He needs more of a coif. There. Okay, yeah. Hello, puppy. It's okay. What is it? An anxious puppy. currently looking a bit like Elvis, in my opinion. Maybe I should have done a guess who this is. You want to go outside? You want to go outside? What is there? It's okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm just trying to get some. Hey, what is it? Say hi. It's okay. He is very concerned about what is outside. Okay. It's okay. You hear some people outside. It's okay, buddy. Okay. And I'll get another one so I can plop in another bristle brush to plop in a bit of reds and such. That way there's still, because even though this is like a very, he's very muted, there still needs to be some temperature changes. So I'm going to be plopping in some reds. I feel like this is always, actually, I think what I can do is put on some sound. I'm not sure if you can hear that. I haven't put any audio or sound on there before. this on there pretty thick. I'm kind of quiet, so I hope if anyone's on and has questions, feel free to ask. Otherwise, I hope that you are having fun creating or watching. Just trying to also keep, I'm tempted to like go in, I don't want to like render the eyes too much. I'm really trying to do it. It's so hard wanting to do that, but it's like we just need to wait, especially a little further along. Although there's something to be said about like getting the eyes in right away, and there's lots of like phenomenal artists that approach it that way, and so it's good to also try both to see what works best for you. But I also don't want to go too dark in value. I feel like I'm tempted to do that sometimes, and I just want to keep it going overboard with the dark values. Just got a new brush for adding the lips here because I was tempted to use something I was already using and just like, but especially for certain areas, I'd say especially the mouth, I'm gonna get like a clean brush. I'm just gonna mess it up again. Last drawer. Okay. Good one. I hope everyone had lots of fun watching. Yeah, I'll keep kind of maybe work on it a little bit tonight. I'll make sure to record it in case anyone wants to see it. I'll go a little bit longer maybe because I thought I heard the baby and Daddy-O home, but they're not. Always super nice that Brian gives me lots of studio time. So big thank you. Louie, it's okay, buddy. What do you hear? You hear Daddy? Yeah. All right. Well, I hope everyone had fun. And it was really great having a good time of the week to get some studying done in. And if you want to go ahead and make sure that you go to YouTube, subscribe to my channel there. If you're on Instagram, the full video will be on there, and make sure you go check out at least the beginning of it, because I went over some different art news, and not news, but just things that are going on in the art world that are kind of fun to know about. So yeah, I'll keep working on this, and I will see you guys next week. Go ahead and go to francescabessettart.com also for online learning, any upcoming workshops that I have as well, because I have a bunch coming up. So hope everyone has a great weekend, and you are so welcome, Matt. Nice seeing you on here. We should do another day at the museum with some people, so we should get that planned if you are interested. But yeah, hope everyone has a great weekend, and I will see you guys later.